So my philosophy there is I like to sell the way I buy. If I'm buying something, I like there to be transparency around pricing. If I get the feeling someone's holding back the price, that feels like a kind of manipulative sales tactic. So I am very transparent and open about pricing. And
Mhm.
what that also means is that the people who aren't able to fit that in their finances, they'll self-select out.
Yes, you don't waste time doing sales calls with
Yeah.
people who are never. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. It tends to be, yeah. Obviously, there's constants in business that never change, but it seems with there are also things like people become like allergic, or they just get sick of certain
Yeah.
ways of buying and selling.
Yeah.
And I do think, yeah, I'm good at sales calls,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I don't like the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting buying your offer architecture for $100. I actually felt better about paying money for it than if it was free, because free, I'm like, I'm not with the free. Maybe it's because I know marketing, but the free
Yeah.
ones, I know the whole point of them is to get you like agitated and not
Yeah.
give you just not enough value so you can
Right.
actually. But then the fact I was like, okay, I'm paying money, so it'll actually be good, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was actually like you obviously you outline the problem and you like that's the first part of it, but that's part of changing people's behavior as well. But then it was actually good and it was usable. And then obviously it led, I'm here now. I like that because yeah, the old VSL thing just feels a bit like disingenuous. Like it's just like,
It's marketing, right? So the way I think about this is we can use marketing to sell our core product, or we can use a product to sell our core product.
mm, mm,
And to me, when we use, so me using offer architecture to sell the accelerator is me taking a smaller fractal of the accelerator and selling that as a standalone product, giving people the ability to get value from that. And for the percentage of people out of those people who get value from it, who are like, hey, wow, this is great. I like how this is constructed. I want the whole system. They're implicitly interested in the bigger thing that the smaller thing comes from.
yes,
So this is product-driven growth and product-driven sales versus marketing-driven sales. Because a VSL is basically all mostly marketing.
yeah,
We're trying
yeah,
to persuade and convince, and sometimes the way people do it, manipulate people into buying something.
yes,
And that automatically creates dissonance, and it begins a relationship on the wrong foot because one person, even a tiny bit, got tricked into it.
yeah. It is a bit of a bait and it's a little bit of a bait and switch. Yeah, like the VSL, I mean,
Yeah.
selling, yeah, just giving like solving a smaller problem. It's that all results in advance thing. It's yeah,
Yeah, that's the other benefit. Like they actually get a result.
yeah,
So it's the ultimate demonstration.
yeah, for sure. And then I guess it's about finding that balance of not giving. I don't even know if it's possible to completely solve someone's solution in one workshop anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
does that enter your mind at all? Or are you just like small problem and I'm just like gonna absolutely crush it on this small problem? Is that the way you think?
Yeah, exactly. So if you actually look at all the trainings in the classroom, each training is built as a standalone product.
Yes, that good. Like you part of the core system.
And so the what I like doing is I like going super deep on one specific problem and just overwhelming someone with value. But because of how I'm constraining the problem, it's really impossible to overgive in a way that removes the need and desire for the bigger thing.
Mm.
But there's lots of people who will come, pay for a workshop, attend or catch the recording, and because I've solved the problem in a comprehensive way, they have a bunch of stuff to now go implement. So they're less likely to buy because the idea is like, if someone has just feasted at a buffet and then we try to sell them food, they're not hungry. They're like, wait, I got to digest this first. I
Yeah.
can't even consider your offer for a steak. It's yes, sometimes it does decrease the desire for the bigger thing, but the way I operate from is abundance and lack of need or attachment, right? Because the way I think about this, if I play a truly long-term game, then it's way more valuable for me to build a small army of people who've gotten tremendous value from me for a laughably low price. And that is gonna pay dividends over a long enough time horizon. But if I'm looking at it from a short time horizon where after the workshop, I need a lot of people to buy from me the next day, then I cannot be as thorough, comprehensive, generous with value because I'm going to have to hold something back so they get the feeling that, hey, I don't have all of it. I need to go get the rest.
It's universal law again.
Yeah.
That's why it works. And that was exactly my experience actually. I like read your post on Instagram. I looked at your thing. I watched your I watched the training. I watched it a couple times and I was like, it gave me like a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And then I did go like a couple weeks implementing and I was thinking about like the friction. I made like progress, even just the little thing you said around make your brand around one result and
Yeah.
streamline towards that. I didn't nail it to the extent that having have spoken to you, but even like I got value out of that. So that psychic entropy like went down for a little bit. But then when I watched your workshop, I was made me want to commit to that model more. So it was like an extended sales cycle than watching like a VSL that pisses you off and
Right.
then you're
Right.
but yeah, I love the way you prioritize like frequency first, energy first. And particularly with what I'm selling, like you got to do it at every level.
Yeah.
So
Because that frequency and energy is going to come into the container,
mm,
and I'm going to have to live with that dissonance for months or years. Like you met Sophie, who's worked with me on and off for 4 years. The longevity of that relationship requires the energy to be squeaky clean. If
yeah,
there was any dissonance in the relationship, it compromises the quality and the longevity of the relationship.
yeah, man, that's like next level stuff. No one's like thinking at this level about it, like that I've. So it's so good because like most people, just being honest, wouldn't give a fuck about that. But important for me, it's going to be important for the people who actually are in here.
Yeah.
So that is it. That is it in action. And it's also like the ultimate productivity hack is if it feels in alignment, if it feels in integrity, if it feels good. Because then the dissonance you keep mentioning, like the dissonance is everything.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
the most corrosive thing for a human being,
yeah, yeah. At war with yourself.
right? So in this case, it is imperative for me, and I'm obsessive about this. No one can feel tricked or manipulated or convinced or influenced or persuaded even the tiniest bit. Them buying anything I offer, them transacting with me has to be a 100% choiceful, sovereign decision on their part that is always overwhelmingly in their favor because that is the most stable relational system. So if you look at a marriage, so one of the reasons why the divorce rate is so high, at least in the West, is because the contractual nature of the marriage takes away choice. And the second biggest reason is that the most stable marriage is the one in which both people feel like they're getting the better end of the deal to the same extent. But typically in a marriage, one person feels like they got the better end of the deal. And the when one person typically feels not tricked, but it's like certain aspects of the reality were hidden from them until they got deep enough. And now the true colors come out and now they have to deal with the stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
funny.
if we build our containers and if we see everything from this lens, then that's how we optimize for not just the length of the relationship, that's retention, right? But forget the economics and the money. That is what creates the highest energy, highest vibrational, highest resonance container where people feel so good. They feel so held. They feel so taken care of. They feel so understood and gotten that I can't even express in words what the impact of that is.
I really feel like this is the exact message that I really need to hear because my biggest wounding has always been around money,
Yeah,
like going from the relationship to it, scarcity versus abundance. And I, that has been my predominant energy towards the marketing and sales process, which is why I've avoided it. And then that creates the dissonance within me because I know at the deepest level, it's a vibrational universe. I know it all matters. There's
yeah,
consequence to every action you take, every thought and intention that you put out.
yeah.
So there's this area that doesn't feel good. It's no wonder. So yeah, like that is such a refreshing take on it. And the best thing is it's guaranteed to work because it's aligned with the universal law and it
Exactly.
diminishes cognitive dissonance. So it's just different to what everyone else is doing, which is a
Right.
cool bonus. And I do think the world is waking up to a certain extent. So those the manipulative tactics, like people, it like once your vibration changes, it doesn't. Once you go from fear to love, more obviously on a continuum, it's like
Yeah,
that stuff. It's not going to work as well. So
yeah.
it's great to adopt that.
More than anything, what I'm trying to make the accelerator is a tuning fork for everyone who is in it. It's a calibration point for a certain energetic frequency.
Mm.
And fundamentally, that is the frequency of love, because true safety only exists when our heart feels safe to open.
Yeah.
And when we're operating with an open heart, then we, A, are maximally attractive as a force in the universe, but also it obliterates all the other crap, all the insecurity, fear, doubt, second guessing, overwhelm, overthinking. And so
Yeah.
true efficiency requires maximal safety, and maximal safety is turbocharged with an open heart. And so this is again a Trojan horse where people think they're coming here to make more money, have more free time. But really, what I'm actually doing is recalibrating the frequency at which their system operates. So there's way less dissonance and way more harmony and coherence. And when they go out, it doesn't matter in a way what's in the offer doc, right? It doesn't matter what their sales pitch is. It doesn't matter because when people feel that in them, they, it's impossible. It's irresistible. We can't say no to that. At least the right people won't say no to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's brilliant. And it is, yeah, it's important to get the offer right and everything. And also, when you coach someone, you lease your frequency. I think that's the main thing people are
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
it's because it rubs off. Like
Right.
the resonance raise like the thing of a spiritual teacher. It's like the log that's on fire, and then the
Yeah.
log goes split, and they both catch flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love that because it's so often I have felt like business it was fragmented. Okay, yeah, I'm this spiritual being having this physical experience, and now I've got to be this marketer guy, or
Yeah.
I've got to for a sales call. I am good at sales, but upon reflection, I have sold out of complete abundance, but usually I'm like kind of like heart not open, like heart a little bit,
Yeah.
like real mental, trying to solve the thing and a little bit, yeah, a little bit out of fear. Yeah. And it's that thing, like love versus fear. That's the choice in every moment, in every situation. And the illusion is that fear is the only way to make it in the world. It's not like love is the overwhelming powerful force because that's the actual reality. Like the fear is just the illusion, right? Like I think Deepak Chopra said it like you speak from your mind, you'll speak to the mind of another. You speak from your heart, you'll speak to the heart of another. And that's like talking about cutting through
Yeah.
the noise and having signal in business. Like fuck,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. And it's also so fascinating and interesting how this is the true uh, demonstration of sell them what they want, give them what they need. But if I led with this,
Love. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah, yeah. Wow, man, that's trippy. That's yeah, that's crazy. Like it's amazing how it all goes back to the deepest truth every time. Yeah, that's awesome. Love the way you think
and
about those things.
to me, if we architect a business like this, it it becomes a wet dream,
Yeah,
right?
it's because it's literally my favorite thing is to shed illusion.
Yeah,
It's because that's it. That's the whole
that's it.
point.
Yeah,
That's the game in town, as Ramdas said.
yeah,
And yeah, man, it's like business a part of it.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was epic. I don't often get super like it can have an idea that is totally outside of the way I would normally think.
yeah,
Just being honest, like because I've
yeah,
just read so many things, I've thought so much.
yeah.
Like that was like changed my paradigm. Yeah, that's cool.
That's a real win here for me.
Yeah,
That moment, that experience, because that's the deepest kind of transferring, like it's a transfer frequency, not just a
yeah,
transfer of knowledge or a framework or an idea, or that's a
mm-hmm.
shift in the operating system.
Yeah,
And when we operate from a different operating system, then not only are the results totally different, but the experience is also totally different of running it.
yeah,
Because if it's just about the money, right, that experience is maybe 0.01% of business.
mm,
You know, when a Stripe notification comes in or someone says, okay, I'm in, and they pay, like that lasts for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And then most people are back at their baseline. But if
mm,
we can lift the baseline, and if the baseline is, oh my God, this feels amazing. I'm basically hanging out with amazing people that I would want to hang out with anyway, and with doing good stuff. And not only do you win and I win, but everyone around us wins for this thing existing.
mm.
Can the existence of your business inherently uplift the world?
Yeah, for sure. And it's a resounding yes. There's no the lie is that there's some shortage or that it's a zero
Right.
sum. It's
Right.
not. All
Yeah.
synergistic. The
Yeah.
antagonistic thing is something that ego creates to maintain its structure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to live.
And then the offer becomes the tip of this whole spear because that's the point of contact with the market. And that opens the door to a relationship.
What a thing. That's why it is great. It helps so much to have the guidance to bridge the gap because to go from it's all love,
Yeah.
you're moving them from fear to love, and then
Yeah.
it's like all the way back to an
Right.
offer to a scared mind
Yeah.
and all the way.
Because your offer is Joe flavored love.
Mm.
Your offer is an instantiated, actualized flavor of your unique design,
Yeah.
right? This offer is so you. It is your embodiment
Mm.
in a Google Doc.
Yes.
It's your uniqueness, it's your authenticity, it's the things you care about, it's your ideas, it's how you serve, it's your devotional prayer. So your offer is how you make love to the world and to the universe.
It's
It's a
that's
true
my
offering.
yeah, yeah, precisely. Yes, that's my song to sing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So on one end of the spectrum, we see this, oh, it's just a bunch of words on a screen. It's how I'm gonna transact with someone and make money and get clients. Like, yes, that is true. But on the other end of the spectrum is this is the song you were created to sing. This is the music that you were forged as an instrument to make. And this whole
Nice.
thing we're doing here in the accelerator is tuning your instrument, right? But also allowing you to fully sing the song only you can sing, and for that song to be heard by the people who really need to hear it and want to hear it, and for there to be an economic engine around your unique energy and frequency.
Elite stuff. It's yeah, incredible. It's like the other day, it was like the week before I signed up for the accelerator, and I was just like the opposite of how I feel now. I was just it just feels like a bit boring like this. I was just like because I was playing small
Yeah,
and girlfriend, we have a pack of roomie cards. Like she was like, pull a card, I pull the card. And it was like to the effect of like, why are you like looking like eating like looking for crumbs when there's like the whole feast in front of you?
yeah,
And yeah, in that moment, I was like in fear and scarcity. And I was like, all these cards are just say the same shit. But now I get it. Now I'm like, that was exactly it. So it's just like amazing how it's always working out in your best interests, even if you can't see it at the time.
yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks for allowing this kind of conversation to exist.
But yeah, thank you. I mean, I get so much out of this level of, it really feeds me at the soul level. It really does. It's
Truly a pleasure.
very much.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Just wanted to thank both of you guys for the philosophical discussion. It's not only refreshing, but extremely valuable. So I was definitely right to stay on the call. Joe, it's a pleasure meeting you, and definitely a distinct pleasure getting to know you at this level for the first time meeting you. As you said it earlier, there's sometimes when words can't do it justice, but to have that kind of a conversation with people that I don't really know yet is a remarkable thing. And you're gifted in that way. I need to share that with all of us from the purest point of love in your heart. And I appreciate that. And I know Joe does too, I can tell. Love you guys.
Love you too, Phil. Good to see you. All right. I will see you next week.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Beautiful.
Thank